Well, our time here in Florida is coming to an end, and it's time to start our trek home. So this will be the final leg of our road trip, and this will be Florida back to Rochester in January. So you're going to get some winter driving tips probably, and we're going to show you what we do for the trailer to prepare it for cold weather, winterizing it. So come along and we'll run that introduction footage and see you on the other side. Well, we've been on the road for a month, and it's time for us to hitch up and make our way home. It's been a good trip. We've seen a lot of different things, gone to some different campgrounds, gone back to some familiar campgrounds, and did the Tampa RV show, which is always a fun event. So now it's time to go, unfortunately. So let's get hitched up and get on the road. It's always a little sad when these road trips come to an end, but you know, you can't stay on the road forever, or can we? Full-time RVing, something to think about. Well, maybe one of these days we'll get to that. But for now, we need to get back to home base. We have appointments we have to take care of and plan the next trip, so we'll work on that. All hitched up, ready to go. Once you're hooked up, you always want to give your RV a walkthrough, make sure everything's set to go down the road. Things to look at are windows, make sure they're locked. You pull the wheel chocks out from underneath the wheels. Lock all your compartments, and just give a general walk around your campsite. Make sure everything's ready to hit the road. See here, we've left the light on. We'll turn that. Wheel clock's gone. Compartments need to be locked. Now we check the windows. This one's locked. You can see that things are up. This window is unlocked. We have to lock it. Back window is locked. Unlocked. Have to need to lock that one. Locked and locked. All right, so it's just a couple of windows to be locked up, and then we're ready to hit the road. Just north of Atlanta, I think this is called Cartersville. We stopped at a KOA for the night. This is a KOA journey, and we are overnighting here. But this was a pretty decent KOA for an overnight. I was really pleasantly surprised at the cost. It was $37 for full hookups. I don't think I've ever stayed at KOA that wasn't, $40 to $50 a night. Well, good morning, guys. We are on day 2 of our road trip. One of the things we got to do this morning is we've got to winterize the Airstream. And so I'm going to show you what's involved in doing that. This is kind of like on the road winterizing, but it should work pretty good. What I want to make sure I'm in good shape is that when I get home, it's going to be freezing temperatures. Thankfully, it's not like sub-zero temperatures, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's going to be cold weather, and I want to make sure that we're in good shape for that and not have any issues. So to winterize your trailer, I'll give you kind of a quick overview. You need to be able to evacuate all the water in the system, so you need a compressor. I've got a little air compressor that I'm going to use, and I'll pressurize the lines, open up all the faucets, and let all the water escape out. Also got to drain all your tanks. My main water tank is pretty much empty. I'll open up the drain on that and let that go. You open up your lower point drains and let the compressor blow out the water there. And you also have to drain your hot water. So one of the things you need to do is turn your bypass on for your hot water heater. And ours is located underneath this cushion in this couch. So we're going to open that up and I'll show you where that is, and we'll flip that, and then we can drain the hot water heater, and then we'll start the process of flushing out all the lines. Okay, so I removed the plug from the hot water heater, and now I'm draining the hot water heater. I'm actually flushing it a little bit because there's still water running, so I'm going to turn the water off and just let that drain. One thing to note when you're pulling up your water hose, you want to make sure you let the water drain out, so that way you don't have an issue with water freezing in your water hose as you store the trailer too. So that's done. The water's turned off, the water hose is off. Next thing to do is to open up the bottom drains and let the water drain down. And that will let any water siphon out of the water lines, and then we're going to blow some air through here and force remaining water off most of the lines, and then we'll go to the faucets and drain them. So now I'm going to take my adapter and my air line, and I'm going to start putting air pressure to the lines and flush everything out to that low point drain. So I think that's doing a pretty good job. Now we're going to go inside and we'll start doing the faucets and getting the air pressure out of them. Alright, so here at the kitchen faucet, and we're going to see much pressurize the water out of that. Make sure to do both hot and cold. And it may help sometimes just to shut it off a little bit, let the system build up pressure again. You want to make sure you do your squirter. Ours is broken, so I don't think there's any water in there, and if it damages it, it's not going to do any more damage than it's already got. So for us, we're going to skip that. Now let's move back to the shower and the bathroom sink. Now for the bathroom sink, right here. Switch into the hot. And then lastly, the toilet. Oh. There's one more that we always forget, and that's the outside shower, so we got to catch that one too. You just want to make sure you're getting air, most of the water. Shut the valves off. You want to make sure for the next step that you got all the valves shut off. So we're done with our air compressor. We can put that away, and then we're going to go down underneath the cabinets to where the water pump is. We're going to tap into the water pump. They've already got a valve in there, and we're going to start pumping antifreeze into all the faucets. You do this for a couple reasons, and I've found some of this out the hard way. You want to make sure your water pump has liquid in it, because if you don't, you're going to have trouble when you come back in the spring to use your rig. You're going to have to prime the pump, otherwise it won't work. The other thing you want to make sure is there's a bypass valve on the hot water heater. You want to make sure that there's liquid in that, because if you let that go dry, the calcium deposits and other minerals will seize up that valve, and then you won't have any hot water. We learned that the hard way too. So here, this is RV antifreeze. You want to make sure that you use this and not any other type of antifreeze, like the stuff you use for your car or any alcohol based. This is safe, odorless, tasteless. It is designed for RVs. You can buy it at different places. We bought it right here at the campground and paid a small fortune for it. So this should be enough to at least get us our lines full with antifreeze. We may have to add a little bit more to the drains later, and we'll just pick that up at a later date. Okay, so every RV is going to be a little bit different, but here's our water pump right here, and way back there where the flashlight is pointing is our valve. And so I've got to take the little cap off, attach my hose to that, and then turn the water pump on and start pumping antifreeze. So I'm going to turn on the water pump. There, that's starting to get pink. There comes some pink. So that's just what we're looking for. We're getting pink on everything, and we should have everything flushed with antifreeze at this point, and we're good to go. Alright, so we're ready to hit the road. One final walk around the trailer, make sure everything looks good. Windows are all locked. Compartments are locked. Make sure all the little doors are closed. Windows locked. Never unhitched, so everything's good there. The jack is up. We're ready to hit the road. You ready to hit the road?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how was your stay here at, I think this is Cartersville KOA.
Well, we just spent the night, and we had full hookup so we could have heat and everything, so it was good.
It was good, considering it's only 40 degrees out.
Right, it's freezing out.
Yeah. All right, so let's hit the road.
Okay.
Been driving most of the day. We left Atlanta this morning. Not Atlanta. We were actually about an hour's north of Atlanta in Georgia. We left there this morning, drove into Tennessee and through Tennessee with pretty much no issues. Got to the Tennessee-Kentucky border, and we saw traffic stopped, and we stopped there, and then we hear sirens and a fire truck zooming by, and then a couple minutes later a police car comes by, and then 3 more police cars come by, and then finally this traffic starts moving, and most everybody's moving into the other lane, and we get into that other lane that the traffic was, the emergency vehicles were coming by, and we only went up a little bit, and there was a car flipped on its roof. So that was probably our excitement for the day. Thankfully, it looked like the person that was driving the car got out okay, and emergency responders were talking to that person along the side of the road, and hopefully it was just a scary situation for them, and nothing more than that. driven so far probably a little over 300 miles. Just got our second tank of gas, and we're working our way through Kentucky, and we're probably not too far from Ohio. We're heading home. We're going through colder temperatures. It's 38 degrees out. It's going to be a colder night tonight. We're going to put the miles on and try to get ourselves as close to home as we can. We know we got another day's worth of driving, or thereabouts, tomorrow to finish the trip off. So we're going to drive into evening probably, then pull over to a rest area, Cabela's or someplace like that, and spend the night, and then get an early start tomorrow morning and finish this trip. Well, we found our spot to overnight. We stopped here at a Cracker Barrel. We're just the other side of Columbus, Ohio. And I'm going to point over here to the ground. There's snow. So this will be an interesting end of the trip. Driving home and getting a little bit of snow. See what it looks like in the morning, but at least for now, we got a spot to spend the night. Trip's coming to an end here. We're back in New York State.
Yep, we are sad because it is ending, but hopefully for not for long.
Yeah, we'll return around, doing another trip soon, hopefully.
Yep.
Nothing planned yet, but got some ideas, so we'll work on that.
Mm-hmm.
But this trip was fun. We did almost 4,000 miles.
We did. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
a lot.
it will be 4,000 miles by the time we get home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drove a lot, and we stayed at, several different places, and did quite a bit while we were gone.
Yeah. And our ride home was pretty good. Better than I thought it was going to be.
Really, no weather problems or no big weather problems.
No, well, just a little bit of rain last night. Now we'll be home in a little bit, and got to get our things unpacked and do the usual stuff you do after a trip. Laundry and kind of put your life back together for a few weeks, and then we're pack things up again and get out of here and find someplace else that we haven't been to.
Right. Well, head someplace different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Monty, what should they do if they want to get more of these videos of you? That's right. Subscribe to our channel. And if you're in the video, give us a thumbs up, right? Or a paw up. And make sure they don't miss videos. They need to, what? That's right. Hit the bell for notifications. Did you get all that? Do you think all your fans got that? Oh, you're bored.
Not sure if Monty likes to be in the videos. Right now, he's unaware that you're here.
You like videos, don't you? You like to watch videos with you in them.
Mm-hmm.